I guarantee you, there's a lot of people who think they know how much work you guys put into this, but they don't.
It takes more than just us to get this thing finished. I mean, we have people that help us.
Yeah, it takes time to do all this kind of stuff, I know.
Good evening, weirdos, and welcome to another edition of Livin' Cruddy with Cruddy Joe. I'm Cruddy Joe, and I'm here with the Getty Along gang. We have the full bug, Gino Roy Kaufenberry, and Jimmy Sniffles himself, handsome Jimmy Hansen. And our very special guest tonight is a writer, an actor, a director, a musician, and the hardest working man in Edmonton, Mr. Gillis. How you doing, Barry?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. Great. So how do you guys all know each other? You're in different places, right? You're in the band with the other guy.
Well, it's all kind of central to the band. Joe is an assistant for the band, and we're all in the Nashville area.
Oh, okay. So Nashville. So that Tennessee, that's Donald Farmer's neck of the woods. You know him?
Yeah, Donald Farmer. He's absconded with some of our music in the past.
Oh, yeah?
It turned up in 2 or 3 of his movies, and I was like trying to get home, like, hey, man, I don't care if you use the music, just give us credit for it.
There is no credit in the credit?
No credit.
Oh,
and he keeps reusing the same music. So.
Oh, you gotta give the band the credit.
Well, those movies nobody's seen anyway. So, so you're in Edmonton then?
Yeah, I live in Edmonton. I was born and raised in Toronto. My family's from Nova Scotia, Cape Breton Island. So I lived in Cape Breton growing up too.
So you're an Easterner that absconded off to the west then, right? Or out to the mountain.
Basically. Yeah, I've been out here for, I don't know, I came out here about, around 2001 and to work in the oil sands, like the oil industry. And I got a trade and stuff like that. A buddy of mine said, hey, why don't you come out there, blah, 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 blah. And I've been out here ever since. So that's what I do on the side, right? But right now I'm editing the new trailer for Tales from the Dead Zone, which I can't wait to get out.
Well, our familiarity with that area exists solely through the FUBAR movies. So I have to see those movies. I heard they're pretty funny and stuff. I've seen the trailers. I actually don't watch as many movies as I should. I just don't got the time. But I've been trying to make an effort the last while to watch more movies. So I've been kind of doing that. But I mean, I grew up watching movies. Like back then, I'm not sure how old you guys are, but I'm 55. Back then in the 70s and stuff, there was a movie theater just down the road. It was different, right? Back then you went to the movie at, you know what I mean, in the afternoon, you paid your money and you watched a whole bunch of movies all day long. Like, you watch 4 or 5 movies. And they had other stuff in there too between movies. There's like the Three Stooges or I don't know, whatever. They threw in all kinds of stuff, right? Cartoons.
Porno.
Then the big movie of the day might come on, like Jaws. They would show like maybe say Enter the Dragon or I don't know, a Chuck Norris movie or Bruce Lee or stuff like that. And then the big movie of the day that just came out like Jaws or whatever movie it would play, right? And then you also had your kind of like grindhouse theaters like that. That was more like downtown Toronto. I've seen some Jess Franco movies and stuff down there. But so basically I can't even remember what the question was.
you were just talking about movies.
Yeah, so
I remember the matinee days, and that was, I'm about the same age as you. They would have a matinee feature at the local theater, and it would be a series of movies and episodes and this and that.
Yeah.
And people would just drop their kids off, so parents could go do whatever for 6 hours. And
I was talking to somebody else recently, and I don't know, it just kind of occurred to me a while back there. I was thinking, I think that's what the film festivals are kind of filling. You know what I mean? Like back then you had all the, like you said, matinees, and you had movies, like you could go there and watch movies all day and stuff like that. And I think that's what these film festivals are filling a need for. Like, because when you go to a film festival, unless you just go to watch one movie, you can go there and watch movies all day and, stuff like that, right? And so I think it's kind of similar in that way, like a film festival, you know what I'm saying? Like a horror festival. Or so you guys watch a lot of horror movies and stuff?
Well, Joe and I do. Jimmy is a sci-fi freak.
And
freak? Why freak? I'm not a freak.
You can't catch COVID and not be a freak. You become a freak since.
Oh, you had COVID?
He's a COVID freak.
But it was, just a minor.
How did you know you had it? They did a test and you were positive?
Yeah, they put some shit up my nose and I guess took some stuff and then they put it on a thing and then they mailed it to somebody and then they sent me an email and were like, you're positive.
I don't know. Like I say, I'm working on the new trailer, which I'm excited about because the new trailer trailer. There's 4 stories in Tales from the Dead Zone, and then what we just shot, the 3-day shoot, is the main wraparound, and we shot that on a different camera, and it has, for lack of a better term, it has that Hollywood look where the trailer we have out right now just has that B-movie exploitation footage look, right? And it was shot on a different camera. But so I'm really excited about this trailer, and it's just about done, but I don't want to release it till January.
Right.
I don't want the trailer getting dated with 2020 on it, because I'm going to be, yeah, it's a bad year too. But
Up 2020.
yeah, but the thing is, what happens is, for instance, the trailer, you upload it to YouTube, so it'll have a date, for instance, let's say it was December 21st, 2020. And then you get into January, and then we're in post-production on the movie, which is going to take X amount of months. And then, you know, like, people see the trailer, 2020. Like, it looks like, you know what I mean? Like, it looks like, oh, this movie is, I don't know, whatever. It looks like it's, you know what I mean? It kind of looks...
It's already a year old, even though it might be.
And it already looks old right now because we've been working on the goddamn thing so long. And I'm not going to shoot a movie like this over time again, that's for sure. But, yeah, so in my opinion, this is my best movie yet, so...
So this is an anthology with a wraparound, and you've got some stars in it, right?
Yeah, there's Bret Hart. We flew him up from Calgary to do his part. And then we have Corey Feldman. He did his part in that way. And then we have a guy named Dakota House. He was in a series called North of 60, which was a big series on CBC here in Canada back in the day. And then we also have Len J. Phillips, who's an executive producer with the movie. He's doing some pretty crazy stuff in the movie. But the main thing is I'm improving as a filmmaker. Because we started with Things. It's some pretty bad filmmaking.
I just wanted to say that 2 of our regular viewers, Paul Smith and Freeman Williams, are huge Things fans. So they wanted to thank you for the movie Things, and they hope you continue making movies like Things.
I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I think the Things fans will be pretty happy with Tales from the Dead Zone. It's a unique movie. It seems to continue finding a larger and larger audience. You'd be surprised with the emails and messages I get and stuff like that from fans of the movie. It's just incredible, like, that a movie that bad can be that enjoyable for a lot of people. We didn't realize we were making a unique movie at the time.
When you were making Things, did you envision what you ended up with, or did you have some other vision?
Well, we shot it on Super 8 film, except for Amber Lynn's scenes. She's a porn star that was in the movie, and her scenes were shot on 16mm film. God, that's so long ago. Like, we start shooting that probably in 86 or 87, and then we got it out in 1989 on VHS for the first time. To answer your question, I mean, with the budget we had, we were supposed to shoot it on 3,000 to 5,000 Canadian dollars. Andy kept going to his parents for more and more and more money because it was expensive for film and to develop the film, and on it went. We knew it wasn't going to look like a Hollywood movie or anything like that. But amazingly, that film looks actually very sharp. Like, we used to watch it on the reels, and we watch it on a white screen, and that fucking footage was really sharp and clear. But then Andy sent the footage out to get transferred to these 3/4 tapes, and that transfer looked like mud. That's why the movie, I don't know if any of you guys seen it, but that's why the movie looks muddy, because the transfer's so shitty. But that original footage it was looking good. We knew it wasn't gonna look like anything fantastic. I think we believed it was gonna look better than it did, though.
Do any of these other versions come from the original prints, or is that something yet to be done?
No. Andy has all the film at his house in Toronto. He wants to get that all transferred at some point in the future. Well, so do I, but he wants a distributor to front the money to transfer the footage on a really high quality system, right? And me, I'm more from the school of, hey, let's just get this transferred on a decent machine, pay for it ourselves, then shop it around. But he wants to have a distributor, you know, like one of these companies like Vinegar Syndrome, or I don't know.
Criterion, Kino.
I don't know if Kino deals in the kind of low budget trash that Things is. I hate to say that.
Who were the guys that just did the Al Adamson stuff? Was that Severin?
Yeah, that's Severin. Yeah. yeah.
It seems like they have an interest in that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, they're the ones who release Things, right? I fronted all the money for the original DVD release of Things, and I convinced Andy, let's get it out there, because the fans keep asking, we want a DVD, we want a DVD. Like, the movie was out for years. Like, we didn't know until the invention of the internet that there was all these fans out there for the movie. This is before even Facebook. People were emailing and asking when DVD was coming out, and, you know, on and on it went. And basically, I convinced Andy that we should do this. The movie is quite interesting, I guess. Who's the fans again? I heard one of them names before, I think.
Freeman Williams. He had a big movie out that was just around when yours was out. I think it was 87, called Forever Evil.
Oh, maybe that's how I heard of him. He's a movie maker. It was brought to my attention that there's this guy, he's directing these fair-sized movies right now. Severin has these people come in, and they go to their vault, and then they choose movies and stuff that they want. So they had this one director come in, and this guy chose Things. I just forget his name right now, but I want to watch some of his movies because he's a fan. I got to check, though, here, quick. Give me a second to check.
Okay, go for it.
Joe Bigos visits the Severin cellar.
Oh, Joe Bigos. Okay. Well, that makes sense.
And one of the movies he chose was ours.
Joe Bigos is becoming like kind of a big deal right now. The content he's put out definitely seems like it may have been inspired by Things. It's very over the top, but I can see the connection there.
He chose that one, and I was like, wow. So I start looking him up, and I want to watch some of his movies.
All of his stuff is readily available on the streaming.
But yeah, I'll find it, right? If somebody's a fan of something you've done, you know what I mean? That makes you like, well, hey, I want to see some of his stuff. And there's other people out there too that are fans of the movie. I mean, they're basically in the closet about it, but there's a movie called You're Next. Well, the writer of that movie, I saw on somebody's blog or something that he got all excited when he heard that Intervision was releasing Things.
Simon Barrett.
That's his name, yeah. When that came out, I went and watched You're Next. I think he wrote The Last Blair Witch too.
Yeah, that movie was what is the actor that has he's got like a mullet and he's missing a couple teeth. He's a ton of horror stuff, but he's got some pull with the horror community. I cannot think of that guy's name.
Gary Coleman?
Yes, it's Gary Coleman.
Gary Coleman.
Boy, Joe with all the hits tonight.
The only Gary Coleman I heard of is that young black guy. Well, you know, the black guy that was in Different Strokes.
This guy's name is Larry Fessenden. He's in a ton of stuff, and I suspect he would be well aware of Things. He's in that group with the Bigos and the guys at the Your Next.
I gotta see Bigos' movies. I heard they're pretty good, and they look high quality. I seen the trailers. Like
the Bigos stuff is kind of like you watch it and then you want to take a fucking bath afterwards.
So there's a lot of trash in it, I guess.
They're just super mean, but there's no like happy endings in any of his fucking movies. That shit, it's harsh.
I don't think there's a happy ending in Things, really.
Oh no, unless you're a big fan of Tailspin, then you get to hear that a bunch.
You know, Wicked World. There's no happy ending in Wicked World. That's the next movie I made. I shot that on 16 millimeter. And then The Killing Games. Well, I guess it's kind of a bit of a happy ending, but there's a lot of violence in The Killing Games and stuff like that. And then House of Many Sorrows. House of Many Sorrows is kind of a tame movie.
That was one of my questions. House of Many Sorrows just kind of ends.
I read some review somewhere where it says that the way he ended it to try to show some kind of, I don't know, I forget how he worded it, but like I was trying to show, you know, I was trying to be like smart, like with some kind of intelligent, I don't know what the guy thought I really thought this out. What happened was I was writing the screenplay and fucking that's how it ended. I just thought, you know what? Why don't we end it where we don't really know what happens? We don't know if he actually slices her throat and that guy shoots him, or if that guy shoots him. People watch the end credits. There's kind of a gag that kind of goes one of the ways that it might have happened. It wasn't intentional. Like I didn't start writing the screenplay thinking, let's have an ending that puzzles people. It wasn't like that at all. Because I've seen some movies like that where it ends on the last frame and they kind of freeze it, and then I'm wondering, I wonder what happened there. In fact, I just seen a fucking movie like that just did it recently. What's the director of The Exorcist? What's that movie he did? Something Joe or whatever.
Hootie Tang?
Hootie Tang, yeah, that was it.
With Matthew McConaughey in it.
Killer Joe, I got it.
Killer Joe, that's it. I just watched that movie, and I was watching it, and boom, there it was. A movie that fucking, you gotta guess what happens after that.
I mean, we mostly talk about horror movies. A ton of great horror movies considered great that have endings that you're just like, I don't know what happened.
Was How So Many Stars supposed to be like an homage to Psycho?
No, 1 minute. Just 1 second. Yeah, hello? Fuck off. City Hall calling to get my feedback on the COVID.
Matthew McConaughey, heard you talking about him.
No, I said City Hall. How So Many Sorrows? What was that question again?
Supposed to be like an homage to
No, it wasn't. Like, I seen some reviews and I don't know, different things, and I heard some people say some stuff. And some people said stuff about Psycho and this and that and whatever. Believe it or not, I hadn't even seen Psycho, the full movie, until this year. I've seen clips of it. I've seen the trailer. I've seen some scenes, but I've never, ever, ever seen that whole movie. However, the actor, he was only in a short before. So one of the things I did tell him was to watch Psycho, because although I hadn't seen the whole movie, I wasn't trying to be like Psycho or whatever, but I did tell him, I said, study the killers in these movies like Psycho and this and that. And I sent him some clips of some people, right, to try to...
Yeah, I definitely didn't mean it as an insult.
No. I don't see it as an insult. I just want people to know that I wasn't going out to try to copycat some other idea, that's all. And I think the fact that some people think that it's like a bed and breakfast and all that kind of stuff, I think they immediately think that, oh, he got that idea because of Psycho. No, I'll tell you how I got that idea. I got that idea because I'm like, how can I shoot a movie in one location at one house? Because it's a lot cheaper to shoot a movie in one location than moving here, moving there, going all over the place. So then you have to start thinking, okay, so I have a killer, he's living in the house, and now I want people to visit the house and stuff like that. Tell you the truth, I wish I would have had more killings and stuff in it. It's kind of tame compared to what I want it to be. I don't see it as an insult at all. If people find certain similarities about it, that's fine, right?
In it, you play a traveling minister that goes with a woman and a little person. I guess you're not supposed to say midget or dwarf, are you? You're supposed to say little person? Is that right?
Yeah, like when I was growing up, you just said midget, but these days everything is so politically correct. Can't say anything these days without somebody being offended. Midget is kind of, it does sound kind of derogatory, I guess.
So you think you can sing a little bit of This Little Light of Mine like you did in the movie?
I'm trying to think of that. How's it going? This little light of mine, I'm gonna make it shine.
That's it.
This little light of mine. I actually wasn't supposed to play the minister at the door, and I thought it was going to be the first movie that I wasn't actually in. I'm the main guy in things, and then in Wicked World, I'm one of the main co-stars. And then in the Killing Games, I make a little appearance. And then in this movie, I wasn't planning on making an appearance because I like directing so much, and I love producing too. I love everything about the making movies. I had somebody else going to play that role, but then he kind of changed his mind. And in the end, I said, well, I'll do it. And now with Tales from the Dead Zone, I'm one of the main characters in the main wraparound. I'm not in any of the stories, but I'm one of the main characters, so I'm going to be in that trailer. And Andy, who directed Things, he said to me that, the fans really like when you're that cuckoo character kind of guy, right? I think when you see the trailer for Tales from the Dead Zone, the fans of Things are going to see that. The role I play in this is kind of like I did in Wicked World or Things, one of these cuckoo clock kind of guys. The truth is, it's difficult to direct and act at the same time because you can't see what the hell's happening in the monitor. It's tough to do both. So anybody who's directing and acting in their own movies, like Clint Eastwood or anybody actually, from shoe budget movies to big movies or whatever, it's not the easiest thing in the world. I prefer being behind the camera. Somebody else was supposed to play this role, actually. I kept looking for different actors I was interested in. And in the end, I thought, why don't I play this role? I'm talking about Tales from the Dead Zone, the medical examiner. I thought, why don't I play this role? I don't got to pay anybody if I play the role, and I don't got to rely on anybody showing up because I'm going to be there. And I kind of got more interested in acting again. But you guys haven't seen Wicked World, I guess, eh? Or
I saw it years ago. I was just thinking I haven't seen the Killing Games yet, so I need to find that.
Basically, here's what's happening. Those movies aren't where I want to be as a movie maker, but with each movie, you can see that I'm improving as a movie maker. All quality-wise, sound, filmmaking technique, and things like that. I'm still not exactly where I want to be yet, but I'm getting there. But I mean, the Killing Games is, I don't know if you like a low-budget shoestring trash horror. The Killing Games is kind of a mix of genres. Mainly, I'd say horror in there. How about the other guys?
We have a portion of our interview here where we do a little bit of a quiz thing.
I did a quiz with somebody else recently.
Okay, well, this involves music lyrics and quotes from movies.
You guys might stump me with some of these because there's a lot of horror movies and a lot of movies in general that I would have. Most of the movies I've seen in my life were when I was younger, going to the theater all the time. Like I say, I'm trying to catch up now, right?
Right. Well, fortunately, with this, we offer that if you're stumped by any of the quizzes, you can reach out. Either one of these other two guys can be a lifeline to help you answer the question.
Okay, go ahead. I know you're going to get me because
Okay, so I have two music ones first. With these, I will read a couple lines from a song. You tell me the following line and the name of the song and the name of the band. And the first one is, didn't take long for I found out what people mean by down and out, spent my money, took my car. What is the following line?
I know that fucking song too. Sing it again. Or sing it again.
Didn't take long for I found out what people mean by down and out, spent my money, took my car. And you have lifelines if you don't feel like you can answer it.
That bugs me. I know that song. Okay, lifeline.
Which one of these two guys do you want to answer it?
Flip a coin or flip something.
You could just say guy with hat or Unabomber.
Go guy with hat.
No, that's Joe.
Joe.
Took his hat off.
Guy who used to have hat on.
Guy who until recently had hat on.
Sing it this time.
Didn't take long for I found out what people mean by down and out, spent my money, took my car. And don't say afternoon delight, motherfucker. You should know
Not
that.
afternoon delight.
Might as well jump.
No. You can't reuse ones every week. We'll let you have the other lifeline because I have a feeling the Unabomber.
I know this song.
I have a feeling the Unabomber can answer this for
The
you.
Unabomber. I know this song too.
I believe it is a Black Dog by Led Zeppelin's.
What's the line?
It would be started telling her friend she's going to be a star.
That's correct. Jimmy Sniffles has saved you on the first one. Now let's move on to the second one.
I was just listening to some Led Zeppelin recently here too. Fuck, I know.
Me too.
The second one, about as difficult as the first one. We fought him hard. We fought him well. Out on the plains, we gave him hell.
Iron Maiden.
But many came for much for Cree. What is the next line? Who's the band?
We fought him well. Out on the plains, we gave him hell. I'm supposed to come up with the other line now?
But we know you know the song.
Okay, wait.
We fought him hard, we fought him well. Out on the plains, we gave him hell. But many came too much for Cree.
Something about will we ever be set free?
That's close enough.
Yes.
I heard Black Dog tons of times too, fucking when I was younger.
But you got the Iron Maiden, and you did say Run to the Hills, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got your 2 for 2 with the help of Jimmy the Unabomber.
I don't know if that counts. I'm 1 for 2, but
I believe it counts.
What bugs me is I know that song by Led Zeppelin. Fuck. Like I said, I was just watching some stuff on them here recently.
All right, so the last two are movie quotes, and neither one of these movies are particularly deep or hard to remember. So the first quote is, I'll read the quote, tell me the name of the movie and either the actor or the character, just whoever said it. There'll be food and drinks and ghosts and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited.
Oh, man. Murders. I don't even think I've seen that movie. I don't know.
You got lifelines.
Okay, wait. There'll be murder and there'll be murder.
There'll be food and drink and ghosts and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited.
House on Haunted Hill.
That's the one.
See, like I said to you guys, there's so many movies I have to catch up on. Was Vincent Price in that?
Yep.
Yes, it was. That was Vincent Price. Yep.
I got the points for you, Barry, so you should send me a copy of The Killing Games and The Dead Zone.
I don't even have a copy to kill. All I have, honestly, actually, the distributor did send me a copy, I believe, but all I've got is like Blu-ray screeners, which they say screener on them and that. You know what? I might have seen that when I was younger. I just can't remember because I've seen so many. A lot of those movies used to come on TV when I was younger. I don't even remember the names of them, right? So I might have seen it.
What's the one where the skeleton comes walking out?
Like I say, and I'm one of them guys, I can watch a movie and then I think I go in some daydream state or some kind of other state. I'm serious. Unless I watch a movie a ton of times, I can't remember parts in it. I kind of go into some other state.
Well, don't let that happen while you're making a movie.
Right.
Yeah, it's all that marijuana, Barry. Just say no.
Yeah, I've smoked my fair share of pot.
It's all that partying at Fort Mac.
Yeah, you heard of Fort Mac, have you?
Yes.
So I'm only happy to have the Americans up. Actually, I love visiting America too. It's a great country.
Things is a big deal in America.
Hey, all I can say is there's been interest for Things Part 2 or, a sequel or even a prequel. And the money hasn't been there. Like, there's been people say they want a prequel or whatever, a sequel.
Right.
And I'm all for it. But I mean, like, they don't have any money. Like, I'm actually in my little studio here at my house, and I got a little fridge and a microwave there. So just grab the pop.
You don't have enough for everybody? Damn.
There's some beer in there too.
Free drinks.
All right. So the last quote quiz. This one I have a feeling you might get. The quote from this movie is, "From the heart comes a warning, filled with bloody good cheer. Remember what happens as the 14th draws near."
As the 14th draws near. Oh, fuck. It sounds like it's, I don't know. Is it Friday the 14th?
You did say you were from Nova Scotia originally, right?
Oh, is it? Okay. When you said heart, I was thinking of the Miner movie. I've seen it. It's called, I seen that movie. They shot it there.
My Bloody Valentine.
That's it. My Bloody Valentine. Yeah, I've seen My Bloody Valentine. Yeah, really, really wild movie.
Your Canadian drawl sounds like you could possibly be in.
When you first said something about, did you say heart or bloody heart or whatever? That's actually the first thing came to my mind. I was thinking, what's the name of that movie?
Still, if you factor in your lifelines, you did pretty good. You pretty much got answers to every one of them.
Yeah. So, which guys are you?
Yeah, just send me Tales from the Dead Zone and Killing Games, and we'll call it even.
Say that again. Tales from the Dead Zone's not even done yet. I could send you a Blu-ray screener. It says screener on it. As you're watching it, it says screener. I don't know if you want to see that.
Oh, there we go.
All right, so we have one last segment of our quiz section. You remember back in the day when they used to have that thing called Mad Libs, right?
Mad Libs?
Mad Libs.
M-A-D Lib? No, I don't. I don't remember. I don't think I played. It's called Mad Libs. I don't think I ever played that game.
Mad Libs. It was like stuff for kids, basically. Well, we do a version of that. Joe has written a brief story here, and what we do is I'll ask you for a couple word types, and then we read back the story to you, and it's usually pretty funny. So
okay.
I need a typical Canadian animal.
Moose.
A feminine drink, a girly drink.
Girly drink? Like a margarita. No, that's kind of, guys drink that too. Margarita, go with margarita. I drink margarita.
Hemingway might be a little pissed at that one. I don't know.
I drink margaritas sometimes myself, but I'm trying to think of more of a feminine kind of thing. But I drink it myself, for God's sakes.
I don't know what I would pick for that one either. A type of beer.
Type of beer? Sleeman Clear. That's what I drink. I drink other beer sometimes, but yeah, the American that was staying at my house here, because he had to quarantine for 14 days before, he had never heard of Sleeman Clear either, but he loved it, right?
I need a typical Canadian insult.
Typical Canadian insult. Canadian insult. Keep going and I'll think about that one.
Okay.
Is there
a type of a car.
Sedan?
A type of fluid.
Rum.
Delicious.
This kind of rum. I'm going to have a shot of rum.
The captain.
I'm going to actually have a shot of rum while you're there because I'm going to get back into the new trailer here soon. And I got to get it ready for the sound guy. I don't fuck with the sound anymore. You know what I mean? I'll put different sounds that I want in there. I don't get involved in trying to master sound or clean up shit, whatever, because I've fucked up sound so many times back in the day. You're in a band, so you know what I'm saying. Like, so if you guys have recorded some music before, you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah. Well, actually, that's a question. When you guys are running Tailspin at the end of the movie, it sounds like somebody really compressed the hell out of that part.
Probably. Believe it or not, Bruce has sent me the original Tailspin because I put up on YouTube, I put soundtrack coming soon, and somebody pointed out this is not the original Tailspin, and I said, yes, it is. And then I start thinking, who knows better than the fans? They know. So I start listening. Then I went back to the movie and I said, fuck, this guy's right. This is not the original song. We need the original song on the release. And Bruce found it, the guy who did that song with Familiar Strangers, and he's in the movie with the chainsaw and all that. He actually ended up finding it, and he kept finding the one that I had already had, and then somehow he miraculously found this one. We got the original now anyways. We got to get that out. I keep being asked over and over about it.
Well, put it out. I still need the typical...
Yeah, the insult. And the cartoon.
And the cartoon, yes. Your favorite cartoon.
A cartoon? What was my favorite cartoon growing up? I liked the Flintstones when I was growing up.
Flintstones works.
Yabba dabba doo.
And what about that typical Canadian insult?
Fuck, I'm trying to think. Why am I going blank on insults? Oh, man.
Come on, you hoser.
That's a Canadian insult, hoser.
Say hoser, but I thought that would be too common.
I've never, ever called somebody a hoser. Never. I swear to God, I have never called somebody, I don't know, you just don't hear regular...
So what's a better Canadian insult? There's got to be one, right?
Well, when I was hanging out with the Forbidden Dimension guys in Calgary, I heard several people say hoser.
Oh, did you? So, I don't know, maybe the circles that some guys are around, they say it a lot, but...
No, they may have said that for my benefit.
He's looking for the Canadian experience.
I knew when I grew up in Toronto...
What about giver? Did they say giver?
Yeah, giver, but it's not really an insult. Like giver, get her done, you mean?
Well, we're going to give her now.
Give her, get her done. You could say hoser if you want.
Hoser works. Here's the story, and this is what Joe wrote using the words that you came up with. The name of this story is Barry Wins the Battle of Alberta. One day after a hard day working in the oil sands, Barry went to his favorite bar, the Majestic Moose. His friend, Handsome Jimmy, was already there, drinking a Capri Sun from those little silver pouches. Hugh Jackman was also there enjoying a margarita. Barry ordered a Sleeman Clear and some poutine. Suddenly, Barry heard a ruckus on the other side of the bar. Barry turned to find a small group of guys in Calgary Flames hockey sweaters picking a fight with NHL superstar Connor M. David.
You know there's a big rivalry between Calgary and Edmonton when it comes to hockey.
Barry set his beer down and went over to confront the Calgary fans. Jimmy, on the other hand, dropped his Capri Sun, wet his pants, and then hit under the table with Hugh Jackman.
That sounds right.
Moser, Barry said, I don't want to see you picking on my boy McDavid. Using a variety of wrestling holds he learned from Bret Hart, Barry quickly incapacitated the belligerent hockey fans. Barry then dragged their unconscious bodies to the back and deposited them in an empty men's room. Knowing they would wake up and start more trouble, Barry went out to his sedan and took a large crate out of the back. Barry unlocked the crate and then put it in the men's room with the unconscious assholes. When the crate opened, it was full of mutant spiders from the movie Things. While the spiders devoured the Calgary fans, Barry went out back to the bar. Handsome Jimmy was crying, so Barry got him another Capri Sun and a pacifier for Hugh Jackman. Barry then sat down with Connor McDavid. They talked about hockey while drinking a pitcher of rum and then watched the Flintstones on the bar television. Handsome Jimmy sat on the floor with Hugh Jackman telling him how to make frittatas, which Backstreet Boys album was the best, and then he gave everybody in Franklin COVID. The end.
Hey, that's funny. You guys should do that with everybody. But anyway, no, that was funny. That was hilarious. The Majestic Moose. But I wonder what... You know what? I wonder, I'm going to do a quick check here about Canadian insults because I can't think of it. You know what? You hear the odd person say it, Canadian insults.
Well, since Joe brought up the spiders, I was wondering who kept that? Who kept the spider? Do you have that, or is that something?
We did years ago. We had a bunch of them. Oh, there's words on here I haven't even heard of before, like chucklehead and doughhead, Corby, hoser. I see hoser on there. Newfie. Oh yeah, some people call other people newfies as an insult.
That's Newfoundland, right? Newfoundland?
Yeah, they do that as an insult to some people because, well, like I've been to Newfoundland before, and the Newfoundland people are like really friendly. Like it's a great province.
They have the deepest Canadian accent, right?
Well, they have that Newfoundland accent. Like, hey, you're from the Bay, bye. But like sometimes I'll tell people, yeah, my family's from Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, and I live there too, and they'll go, oh, you're a Newfie. And sometimes people say that about people back east. It's kind of like an insult. But I just read that on some Canadian insults. Is there any Newfoundlanders down your way? Did you ever bump into any? You bump into Canadians down there sometimes, though.
Oh yeah, Canadians, but all the Canadians here are from Toronto.
Oh yeah? Yeah. If I get the money ever, I want to live in America and become an American citizen.
Well, we're going to help you get the money because we're going to promote that. Yes. I don't know if Jimmy, recovering from COVID, has a Cruddy Cuisine this week or what's up with
How are you feeling, Jimmy? How long ago did you have this COVID? Like just recently?
It was last week. I was the day before American Thanksgiving here. So it was like
so it was
almost 2 weeks ago.
Okay, I have a question though. Did you have like a bit of the shivers? I'm just wondering if that's part of it. Or
I did.
Yeah,
2 days before,
I mean?
I was very chilly. I had the chills.
What is it? What I think, Jim?
You're sitting around, everything's fine, and then you find out Jimmy's got COVID. Crazy.
I have an underlying condition too.
Oh, that's not good.
Well, I'm super fucking sexy, and that puts me at risk.
Okay, I get you. But anyways, you feel a lot better now.
Yes, and I started cooking this week, which is good. So I'm back in the kitchen, and I got to tell you, I made homemade manigot. Oh, it was so good.
What's manigot?
It's like it's like a cannoli, except it's pasta in a little tube, and you shove it.
Okay, I heard of manigot. Yeah.
Shove it with ricotta cheese and mozzarella.
Yeah. I know.
In Tennessee, they call that a pasta dick.
Here's what I don't get though. Poutine, I just love poutine. Is there any restaurants down there that have said, "Hey, let's make this poutine dish"? Like you can't get it anywhere in the U.S. at all?
I make it at home.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, because the only place we can get it is when we go to Canada.
There was a place I was at in Manitoba. They made it like a brick. Like think of a brick, and the people I was working with, they were telling me, "You got to come to this place to try their poutine." I swear it was like a brick. They made it like a brick, right? Like it comes out like a brick. I swear to God. Like it's not like the fries all over and all that. It's like a brick, and it had all this steak in it, like huge pieces. They made it like a brick, and whatever, the cheese and everything. And I'm eating
the gravy.
It was the best.
I love poutine.
All right, Barry. So we have done our Cruddy Cuisine. It included Canadian and Italian delicacies this week.
Minchia, porca la miseria.
The Italian?
Of course I am. You can't tell by this nose.
Have you been to Italy before? Have you had a?
I have 2 times. I love it.
Here we go. We got the Italy bros having it up.
So Florence is surrounded by water. Am I correct?
No, that's Venice. We went to Venice too.
Venice.
It was smelly.
Sorry. That's Venice.
Jimmy went to Venice because he thought they meant penis.
That's right. I thought it was penis. And you gotta give a little.
That's how COVID was started, was waiting in line at the Vatican.
Well, that's all we got for this evening, weirdos. I want to thank the Getty Along gang, Gino Roy Coffinberry, Handsome Jimmy Hansen. Most importantly, we want to thank our very special guest, Mr. Barry Gillis. Thank you, Barry.
Hey, thank you, guys. I had a great time. And the Tales from the Dead Zone trailer is going to be out in January. It's going to be wonderful. And I had a great time with you guys tonight. This has been going on since what time? Almost an hour and 40 minutes. So
one thing we wanted to remind people was that Barry did not steal story from Psycho.
No.
That did not happen.
No, I don't steal from anybody, and I really enjoyed it. And thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, take care.
All right, Barry, stay safe and stay warm up there in the frozen tundra.
If I get the money ever, I want to live in America and become an American citizen.
Well, we're going to help you get the money.
You got yourself in a tailspin. It's going round and going down. You got yourself in a tailspin since you've taken your life downtown.
I'll be okay.
I will kill you and your family and everyone associated with you.